Hey, YouTube. So, what are some of the lessons that we've learned so far in season three of Alone on the History Channel? For me, the real standouts would be that humans don't do well being alone. That's the very obvious one. It's the name of the show, obviously. But it's because we yearn community and relationships on different levels. So it's a need, it's an actual need. And we start having psychological issues when we don't have that type of input in our life. And so that's a big thing. So in a preppers group or a bushcrafting group or a survivalist group, whatever kind of group you're in, if you're into the most of the content of this channel, you're probably going to fall within one of those three. If not, maybe you just happen to like some of the content for just the informational aspect. But whatever it is that you're drawn to, if you're going to be more prepared, it's going to be hands down the best approach is to do it with other people because it leads into the next aspect that I saw, and that's going to be that accidents happen. And we saw that pretty much actually in every one of the three seasons. In this last one, we had an axe that sliced open an arm, and we never know. I mean, there's still some episodes still left. We still may see more injuries, but I hope not. So basically, people don't do well when they're alone. They crave community and communication with others. Accidents happen. People get sick. People need help. And so when we help each other, we get to overcome, a greater, vast variety, if you will, of challenges and roadblocks that may keep us from being productive and or just to live. And so the last one, which I think is probably the largest one still, is especially for preppers that are really into just trying to get the basics all figured out. And so let's say you have the community, let's say you have knowledge about first aid and those who can help you, and all that general knowledge is there. Then it really comes down to having your basic needs met, staying warm and having enough to eat. Of course, clean water's in there too, but in these episodes, we didn't really have a lot of problem with finding water. It was usually always about staying warm and having a full belly, or at least getting some of your caloric intake needs met, nutritional needs met. And for a lot of them, especially through these episodes, it was an issue of not getting enough protein, very much protein deficient. So this is the things that I took away, and these really apply to, in a generic sense, in every aspect of the word of being prepared. Prepping, survival, and bushcraft if you're trying to endure hardship for a period of time. And so I think that we really need to re-examine those elements because they are very basic in its layout, but they have critical implications when they're not met. You will die, or you will suffer greatly. And it's so unnecessary, especially now that we're able to have some forethought and we can identify these needs now. If we were ever in that situation that we had to endure for a period of time, maybe it's a type of natural disaster or storm system, or maybe there's an infrastructure type of issue that will endure for a period of time, maybe more than the average, maybe for weeks or months, then we already know what we need. In fact, the basics of what we need as humans, for the most part, is very much common sense, but not a lot of people, believe it or not, really sit there and just think about it. They don't really list it out. They don't really plan on how to overcome it. They don't have, I guess, in a more specific type of approach here, they don't really have a plan of action. And I think that that's what this show for me really reinforces is my plan of action, my provisions, my vision of how to overcome various types of adversity. And so I'd be curious if you would like to share it all, how this affects you. And if you got anything more from the show Of course, there's a lot of other aspects we could talk about. The individual personalities and how they related to the length of longevity of their stay in Patagonia. So definitely, the will of the individual, the motivation, the how they perceive their environment, how positive or how negative, there's so many various aspects. And so they all can't be discounted, but some of them just really stick out to me just because they're so immediate. When you don't stay warm, you go into a hypothermic state. And we saw with Greg, if you don't get enough food, we can see like Dave, he just shriveling up and he's just disappearing. You just start losing your body. And if you don't get to the point of actually interacting with other people, you could actually go mad. You could actually lose it. And so these things, coupled with if you got injured and you didn't have enough health, could lead to disastrous outcomes. So thanks for your watching the video. You guys take care. Catch you later.